All right, let's preview South Carolina quarterback LaNorris Seller. Let's preview the 2025 season and talk about why he can break out in 2025, despite already having a breakout 2024 season, especially the second half of the season. But there are three reasons I want to talk about in this video and watch a little bit of film talking about and describing why I think he can have a even bigger breakout year in 2025 compared to 2024. So besides the experience, besides it being his second year starting in the SEC, besides all of those, let's talk about these three reasons why I think he can break out even more than he already did this upcoming season. And the first reason is going to be no shock to anyone, especially South Carolina fans, but it's his athleticism. He was third in the SEC last year with 852 yards rushing, not including sacks. So you take with the sacks, he had 852 yards. He led the SEC for all quarterbacks in yards after contact with 581. So for context, the next closest quarterback in the SEC had 433 yards after contact. That was Jalen Miller. So not just the rushing yards that are impressive, the design quarterback runs, but the ability to escape the pocket, the ability to escape pressure, and deliver a big throw downfield. So when you talk about athleticism, it's more than just running the football, especially for LaNorris Sellers. There are some huge passing games that came from him throwing on the run, from the Vanderbilt game where he broke out of the pocket, the first big pass against A&M. I think the first drive, he broke a big tackle, broke out of the pocket, and of course all the plays against Clemson as well. So we're going to watch some of those clips. Key number two, it's his passing against the blitz, the passing versus pressure. I thought was very impressive last year. He had 11 passing touchdowns and only 2 interceptions when defenses were blitzing him. So he did a really good job getting rid of the ball quickly, identifying that. He does need to work a little bit whenever defenses drop 7 or 8. But when they blitz him in high-pressure situations, especially from that A&M game on, we saw him perform really well. He had 10 yards per attempt against the blitz. Again, that's pretty damn high, especially for a young quarterback. Whenever teams dropped 7 or 8, he was only 7.3 yards per attempt. So it's hard to imagine teams continue to blitz him this much. He was blitzed 36% of the time last year. The situations depend on different types of defensive calls, but he was very good against the blitz, which I think is pretty rare for a young quarterback. So if he can continue to improve on that, which I think he will and he can, and improve the area of, when defenses drop 7 or 8 and there's a bunch to read, fitting the ball in the tight windows, I think that's kind of the next step. And then the last reason, which I don't know if, I know South Carolina fans will find this easy to be true, but people that didn't watch him a ton may not realize this, but it's his accuracy on his deep throws, especially later on in the season. He was one of the most accurate, actually the second most accurate quarterback in the SEC on quarterbacks that qualified for this on balls thrown 20 yards or more downfield. The only quarterback to have a higher completion percentage on those type of throws was Florida quarterback DJ Lagway, right? So the accuracy in the deep balls, the ability to stretch the field, I thought was really impressive, and I think that ability can help him continue to develop and break out again in 2025. And the biggest takeaway from this past season was his ability to get better throughout the season. It was his development. So yes, I'm talking about athleticism. I'm talking about passing against the blitz and reading the defense. I'm talking about his accuracy in the deep throws. But all those entail the main takeaway. That was his ability to get better and to develop, letting Sellers develop. My biggest takeaway, and I think that's why he can have a big breakout season, a bigger breakout than he did in 2024 coming up in 2025. So with that said, let's go ahead and watch a little bit of some game film. It's broadcast footage. I still haven't figured out a good way to get around it. Probably will not be doing as much film breakdown just because YouTube doesn't like when I do that. But hopefully it's a good enough quality, it's a good enough clips to at least demonstrate the 3 type of throws that we talked about, 3 type of plays that we talked about. So let's go ahead and check out a few clips of LaNorris Sellers. All right, so we got a few clips of Sellers. Again, broadcast footage. I have to slow it down. I do apologize about. Hopefully, he does a good enough job just giving a preview of Sellers and why he can break out. So these first few clips, this first one is his ability, his athleticism to scramble, to break the pocket, to break the pressure, and to scramble out here. This is one of the better examples, the better clips from all of last year of not just a quarterback, but any football player being able to break a tackle here. He did this several times. So this is against Vanderbilt. He's holding on. You can see that pressure gets to him. It's actually a really good job of the offensive line. He had plenty of time. Gets to him, able to throw him off, breaks free, and throws a deep ball down field here. So we talked about his 530, 550, whatever yards that was of scramble yards after contact or yards after contact. But it was his ability to make plays like this and have big plays throwing the ball, utilizing his athleticism. I think we'll probably even see more creativity. We saw some last year of Sellers and his ability to run to lead to some creative plays, but I think we'll see more of it. But a lot of this is just off script. You can't teach this stuff. It's his off script ability here. Here's A&M. This is second play of the game. They bring a blitz. They'll bring 4. A missed assignment there. If you just pause it right there, you say there's no way this is going to be a 10, 20, 50, whatever yard play, but it was. If you pause it, no way he's breaking that tackle. Well, he does, and he's able to escape over here and make a big throw here, right? So reason number 1 for breakout season is his ability to make these type of plays. I could show the whole Clemson game of him making these type of plays, but it's these throws, throwing a good, accurate ball on the run. Excuse me, I'm sorry, been talking too much today. Throwing an accurate ball on the run for that was 20 yards or so from breaking that tackle. And this next clip is against OU, which is demonstrating his running ability, right? So he's always going to have the running ability. He's always going to be able to utilize that. All of these plays is Sellers. Is it playing? Yeah, there we go. Is Sellers going off script here and just breaking tackle. You can see the blitz is coming. He's able to go off script, take off, and go. I don't see anyone spying him, right? There's a little zone here, so maybe he was. But he's going to put so much pressure on the defense and get defenses out of position that I think the threat of the run, even if he doesn't run, just the threat of him running the ball, I think can set up favorable matchups for the offense here. So key number 1 is just his athleticism. I'm showing the run play here, but I'm more impressed of his ability to throw the ball off of his athleticism. So key number 2. Let's see, do I have a deep ball here? I think this is the deep ball against Mizzou. We're going to see Mizzou blitzes. Again, we talked about how good he was against the blitz, 11 passing touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. We talked about how accurate he was on balls, 20 yards or more downfield. This is a perfect example of it. This is before he had a huge, after this huge play, Sellers had a huge game against Missouri here. So Missouri brings pressure. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's kind of spying here. But even with that, even with the spy, I mean, he's inside the line of scrimmage still, right? I mean, it's almost like he's this spy. He took this guy out of position just from the fact he can run. And so now you only have, 5 defenders. You have an accurate throw here. Look at an excellent rotation. Wow, we work with a lot of baseball players, so we enjoy seeing that type of movement from the shoulder. Anyways, not to get geeky, a great throw downfield here. Has a step on him. Good accurate throw. Again, he had, I think it was 19 of 38 last year on balls thrown 20 yards or more downfield. I don't want to say underrated, but maybe an underappreciated attribute of LaNorris Sellers is the ability to push the ball downfield and do it accurately. Again, the second most accurate quarterback in the SEC last year on those type of throws. And then another clip here, we see Vanderbilt blitz. Here we got 5 coming. We got a delayed blitz of the safety. It's a great job by Sellers recognizing that. There's a safety over here, but the safety can't get over in time. He knows he's going to the ball here. Is this the tight end? Someone can help me. Was it Josh Simon last year? South Carolina fans, y'all know I just do quarterback, so I'm not great with all the other names, but it's a great ball replacing where the defender came from. As a quarterback, you're taught when you place against the blitz, wherever the blitz is coming from, you replace the blitz with the ball. That's what he does. The safety can't get over there in time. He sees that. It's a good, accurate throw here. So several reasons why LaNorris Sellers can break out in 2025. The obvious one is, well, he did in 2024, right? But it's his experience, especially his success in the second half. A lot of the attributes are what we talked about, the accuracy downfield, the athleticism, the ability to read defenses against the blitz. And the overall takeaway is just his ability to develop. So if he was able to develop that much in one season, that much in a 6, 7, 8 game stretch, we really saw some big improvements. I have to be pretty high on him developing and having a whole nother offseason, a whole nother training camp heading into the season. So South Carolina fans, I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of Sellers? Obviously, I know you're really high on him because we talked to a lot of y'all from Twitter through YouTube. But let me know your thoughts on Sellers. Let me know why you think he can break out. What am I wrong about? What am I right about? If this is your first time tuning in, we're a big SEC quarterback hub. We'll have quarterback breakdowns and previews and recaps and some other cool stuff coming out for this season. So we're just ramping it up right now. So follow us along if you like this quarterback type niche stuff, SEC quarterback stuff. Consider giving us a subscription. It helps us grow. We'll see you next time. Peace.